You can stop performing the version of yourself that kept you safe. That's the message arriving from Gwenhwyfar or Gwenhwyfar of Arthurian legend. And she has stepped forward to guide you today. Hi, love. Welcome to your Timeless Mythos reading. I'm so grateful you're here. Whether you're returning or finding this place for the first time, please know you're welcome, wanted, and completely safe here with me and my guides. I'm Christina, a doctor of Chinese medicine and intuitive channel. And today's reading is going to unfold in 3 parts. First, this telling of the myth itself, the story of the archetype who came forward for you. The deeper themes that's stirring in your life right now, and then your full card spread so you can see what's shifting and how this energy is likely to unfold. If this found you, you can trust something in it is meant for you. And yet, because it's a collective reading, please take what resonates and then just leave the rest, okay? Somebody else needs that part. When something does land, like the video to claim the energy, and if you haven't yet, subscribe so future Mythos messages tune even more directly to your frequency. Now let's anchor into awareness of the present moment and step back into the mythos together. Gwenhwyfar's story is not the one most people know. Her myth was rewritten, reshaped, and weaponized by men who needed a simple villain and a simple queen. But the real story, the one that survived in whispers and fragments, is about a woman born into a life that was never really hers. From the very beginning, Gwenhwyfar was not chosen for who she was. She was chosen for what she symbolized: beauty, purity, diplomacy, political alliance, the perfect queen. She became the crown's ideal, the kingdom's ornament, and the king's proof of stability and longevity. And everyone loved her, except for the fact that no one actually knew her. She lived in a kingdom built of expectations where every choice she made was weighed against what she should be, where love meant loyalty to a role instead of connection to her truth, where her own desires were treated as an inconvenience. But she tried. Oh, she tried. She tried so hard to be the perfect queen. She tried to be loyal and gracious and dutiful. She tried to fold herself into the shape everyone needed. And in doing that, she disappeared. When she met Lancelot, it wasn't about lust. It was about recognition. Someone finally saw her, the woman, not the crown, not the role, not the symbol. Someone loved her truth rather than her performance. Someone spoke to her heart, not her obligations. And this was the turning point for her. She didn't betray her kingdom. She stopped betraying herself, and the world punished her for it. They called her faithless. They cast her as the cause of ruin. They blamed her for choosing her heart over her duty. But Gwenhwyfar's real story is not about infidelity. It is about sovereignty. The moment she chose herself, everything she had been holding together in her self-abandonment cracked. And she walked through that rupture with a heart that refused to go back to sleep. Later versions of the story say she retreated to a convent to atone. But older tellings say something different, that she reclaimed her name, her spirit, and her freedom. Gwenhwyfar became her own queen. Gwenhwyfar arrives today because you are standing at a crossroads where truth and expectation are pulling you in different directions. You may be trying to be everything for everyone, stuck in an identity that pleases others but leaves you empty, tired of carrying the weight of being the good one, and terrified that choosing yourself will disappoint someone, longing desperately for something that feels like freedom, realizing that the role you're in was never built for you. Gwenhwyfar comes with a message that you get to choose the life that honors your heart. You are not responsible for keeping everyone else comfortable. You are allowed to want more. Your truth is not a threat. It is a compass. Choosing yourself isn't betrayal, it's alignment. Her presence signals a moment where your heart is begging you to stop performing, stop managing other people's stories about you, and reclaim your power to step into the life that fits you. This reclamation is a remembering and a return to your sovereignty. The story today, the energy today, is really speaking to this notion of reclaiming yourself after a long period of self-abandonment. When you have felt obliged or forced in one way or another to play a series of roles that were not really true to you, but were about managing everyone around you in order to maintain your internal safety. And that's absolutely understandable. But as we look at Gwenhwyfar, at Gwenhwyfar, at this sacred archetype of sovereignty, of purity, of grace, we see this invitation into releasing those expectations, letting things fall where they need to fall. A thing I have always loved is the saying that if it can be destroyed by the truth, then it deserves to be. If the truth of your needs, of your sovereignty, of your power in this life would tear things apart, then my love, they need to fall apart. Let's get into this card reading further. So this is the energy from the Wild Mystic Oracle. And we have here communicate, which is a bat, how interesting, echolocation, and heal, which is a frog or a toad. So communicate and heal. And so we're seeing here, if you won't speak your own truth, how can others know it? If you've only been admitting it silently to yourself, if even then, it may be that you're getting a little mad at me right now and saying, Christina, this isn't my issue. I don't do this. But if you're getting mad, it's because there's something in you that recognizes the truth in this. That it's not that this person does this or that does that. It's not about when we move away from codependency, when we move away from this people-pleasing, what they learn is that it was never actually really about them. It wasn't about their behavior. It was about our self-abandonment, about my willingness to constantly refuse my own needs in order to put yours above mine. And that's what needs to heal. It's not about other people's behavior. It's about why have you refused to claim your own power and allow other people to experience their own feelings, their own disappointment, their own wanting for you to be something than they are. They're allowed to feel in what they want, whatever they feel, whatever they want, let them. That is not yours to manage. What is yours to manage, just like Gwenhwyfar, is what is the actual calling of your heart? What is it that isn't just something that's been put upon you, that isn't just duty or obligation, although I know you've done your very best to live up to those. But that is your soul saying, this is what I want in my one wild and precious life. Let's go get it. You're allowed to choose what's true for you. You don't owe your life to any role that diminishes you. Communicate your needs and heal. Let's see what we have. We have the Six of Wands in the reverse, the Magician in the upright, and the Moon. Six of Wands in the reverse is really this need to let go of needing other people's approval. And of course, we've spent our lives seeking approval. I'm not saying this in order to in any way be unkind or imply that you have some deficit. That's simply not the case. You have felt since you were very young that there was a version of yourself you had to perform in order to be safe, in order to be treated with a measure of respect or decency. And yet the opportunity here is to let go of other people's thoughts, of other people's adoration, in order to manifest what your soul is really calling you to. And this is where we have Magician and the Moon. This is a major theme in your life. These are two major arcana cards. Magician says that you have what you need to manifest what your soul wants in this lifetime. It's not something you have to wait for. It's not something that's coming once you accomplish this thing or that thing. You have what you need to pursue. There is something calling you. Do you see these wolves howling at the moon on this card? We've got the yin wolf in the dark and the yang wolf that is light, and they are howling at the moon because they long for it. They long for something they don't fully know or understand yet, and that is the longing of your spirit. And similarly, if you haven't, you might want to check out the Kaguya, Princess Kaguya reading from a little bit ago, which spoke of this feeling of a longing, a pulling toward something that has felt out of reach, that has felt indescribable, but that is really the truth of your spirit speaking to you. I'll see if I can remember to link that down below for you, because for at least someone out there, that is an important message to receive. But we're seeing here that you have what you need to manifest and move toward this longing, even though you don't actually know exactly what it is. This isn't about just logic. Your soul doesn't speak to you in just logic. And don't get me wrong, I'm an academic, okay? I'm a clinician. Logic matters. I'm not saying otherwise. Logic is a very important part of the human experience and our capacity to succeed in life. But that isn't what this is about. This is about the denying of the part of yourself that moves behind the logic, underneath the logic, where you have a deep, intense knowing of what is right or wrong for you, regardless of what is logical, regardless of what other people tell you, regardless of their expectations. I want to see what's hidden underneath this. From our Moonology deck, we have the card Be Real. Once again, love, you can stop performing the version of yourself that kept you safe. It's actually been a little bit hard for me to do this reading. And you may have noticed this, throughout all of this, as I've been recording and being in Gwenhwyfar's energy, I actually feel a little sick, almost a little bit nauseated, and it's hard to get a full, deep breath. And it's this feeling of the weight and the heaviness of not being authentic to yourself, of how painful and twisted that feels in the body. And you may not feel it because you're used to it. I remember when I was. When I performed so hard, the character I had created that made other people happy. Every day was like an Oscar-worthy performance. But it left me sick. It left me so sick that I became disabled. This is your calling to be real, because something in you has until this moment been a performance. Heal from this. Heal from this and communicate with yourself and with others your true needs, your true want. I am looking for clarification on this. Feels so just distressing in my body. I'm asking for guidance, Gwenhwyfar, on a message that will help to navigate this with as much ease and grace as possible. Because the truth is, when you've been in a long-term pattern of people-pleasing, it's not going to shift without some disruption, some discord in your world. This keeps happening. I think I need... actually getting the Tarot of the Divine. I keep picking a deck at the beginning, and then something in the energy changes, and it's probably the way I'm interpreting the cards relative to the archetype. But at any rate, when you make this shift, it doesn't happen. Everyone else is used to you pleasing them, okay? Everyone else is used to you showing up, wearing the costume that is most comfortable for them. They're used to you erasing yourself. And it's not that they would have wanted that from the beginning, but that's who they thought you are. That's the dynamic that's comfortable. And even the people who love us the most, the reality of human psychology is that we resist change, especially when it's externally driven. So even the people who love you most will resist your change, most likely. Some may say, oh my gosh, I've been waiting so long for you to step into your power and out of this dynamic. They well might, but not everyone. And that's okay. Let them have their own struggle. Let them have their anger if they have anger. Let them have their disappointment or their sadness. You have the opportunity to communicate about how these dynamics are not working for you, how they're actually harming you, to heal and be real about what you're feeling. Stop hiding it. If you're hiding who you really are, you can't actually be intimate with the people who love you, because what you're projecting is a character, and it keeps you feeling so very lonely, so very drained and empty and stuck, and it just feels so awful. Okay, 4 of Cups is the missed opportunity. 4 of Cups is something you haven't been seeing. So this is the story of the nightingale. And this person is looking at all the riches in front of them, and they are missing that the nightingale is right behind them in the window, the most beautiful treasure that there was. So there's missed opportunity. We have King of Swords in the reverse, and then 5 of Wands in the upright. There's been a lack of willingness to endure this challenge that I'm talking about, because you maybe have tried, you've tried in a number of different ways. You have tried very logically, very intellectually to move out of this dynamic in ways that also would not rock the boat. So here's the thing, you're going to have to rock the boat. You're going to have to splash some water. Okay? That's the way through this. That's the way into this, moving through the challenge, through the pain of this change, through the pain of healing and forgiving yourself for not being authentic this whole time, for abandoning your spirit's truth, your heart's truth, in order to play this role that others wanted and maybe even needed from you. So you haven't been willing to make the choice to allow the fracture and to deal with the difficulty, to deal with the cards falling where they fall. But that's the opportunity that you have now. You can do that. You can seize this opportunity right now to communicate your needs, regardless of whether that makes other people uncomfortable. To put yourself first, your own well-being first, regardless of what that means in terms, again, of other people's comfort. Because you deserve your own love as much as anyone else in this universe, and you haven't been giving it to yourself in equal measure that you've been giving it to others. And at this point, it's hurting you. It's been hurting you for a long time. I want to ask for one more card from the universe on this message of claiming your sovereignty, of choosing to allow yourself that you know the direction of your heart. That's so many cards, it's too many. That you don't have to keep carrying the weight of being the good one and meeting everyone's expectation. Those are it. Okay. Okay, here we go. We have the raven, magic, and the butterfly's transformation. Ravens are liminal beings. They see between the world. They're a corvid, relative of crows. They're strongly associated with Odin. You can see here, I don't know if you can see it, the world tree. You can see here the spiral of magic. That you hear Raven and magic coming in here. Claim your own magic. Claim your own power. Be real that you have a spark of the divine and a wild capacity inside yourself that you have been suppressing. You have intuition. You have power. You have sovereignty. You have grace that you have been suppressing in order to keep others comfortable. You can claim this magic, claim this capacity to see clearly and far and to move swiftly through the fog in order to transform like the butterfly. And transformation isn't fun while you're doing it, okay? It's the after part that's great. The after part is amazing. The doing of transforming, frankly, it's awful. It's awful. You know how a butterfly transforms? They eat a ton, right? And then they build a little chrysalis, a little house that they go to sleep in. And then they dissolve. They dissolve into a pile of goo, that caterpillar does. They are completely unmade. And then they become something astonishingly beautiful that flies. But the unmaking is not easy. Allow this, allow the magic of transformation to work in you, to work in your life. Gwenhwyfar is calling you forward and letting you know, as the woman who chooses herself as the sovereign heart, that this transformation is awaiting you, and it is so beautiful on the other side when you are the ruler of your own life, of your own destiny, and no longer allowing yourself to be confined by the roles that serve others always first rather than yourself. This is such a calling to you to release this dampening and this suppression that you have so you can breathe clearly again. Let yourself transform. Let yourself release this. It feels horrible. It feels horrible, this suppression. Let it go, my love. Move into your magic, into your transformation. Heal. Claim your power. It's waiting for you. If you want to receive the deeper energetic transmission from today's archetype, I've channeled a couple messages for you. They're linked in the description box below. So when you're ready, give them a watch. Let them meet you where you are. Thank you for being here, love. Thank you for showing up for your own story with courage and an open heart. And until next time, be gentle with yourself, okay?